I am from Sacramento, California, and that's where I grew up. I went to high school, middle school, elementary school, all up there. And I started doing film through video and actually live media at my high school. And I recently graduated from Chapman University's Dodge College of Film and Media Arts down here in Orange County, and have just moved up to Los Angeles to pursue and develop my professional film career. What I find fun is that I honestly feel as though I can find inspiration in most any person's work. I have a lot of diverse tastes in that sense. But if in terms of a filmmaker or two directors that I absolutely love and aspire to be just because of their work ethic and overall the way that they worked with people, I love Walt Disney and Alfred Hitchcock, both for the products that they created, their artistic integrity as people and as artists and as filmmakers, and as the way that they believe they should run an organization. The difficult part about making things made specifically when you're still in film school, this was made as my senior thesis film. And so it was very heavily workshopped as a storyline and as a overall is it producible because depending on the resources that you have, some movies are more producible than others. And so one of the biggest complications that we had as a producing team and as a story team was we had to workshop this in classes. We had to listen to feedback from over 50 to 60 other sources, including professors and other members of the faculty, and then the students themselves. And at some point, you have to decide what criticism and what suggestions are you going to take with you, what are you going to leave behind, and sometimes you end up with that classic too many cooks in the kitchen syndrome, where you just have to take a step back and reevaluate what you want after hearing so much input from people on the outside of the project. We're all in the business of making movies because we want people to be touched at the end of the story, and we want them to come out of the theater feeling changed or wanting to be a little bit kinder or a little bit gentler. And I think in Cold Winter's Night's case, it's really a story about, first of all, acceptance. And I think, especially considering our current socio-political climate in the United States, understanding and acceptance and tolerance is something that's in great need across our entire country. And I also feel that this is a story that really celebrates children, and that we as adults are often so caught up in our own drama that we don't ever stop to think about the children in our lives that we are affecting. And for me, myself personally, I had a wonderful childhood, but I know so many people who had theirs ruined by divorce or by loss, and sometimes loss isn't necessarily the parents' fault, but we as adults need to be more sensitive to that and really work to celebrate our children in all forms, including in their education, in the fostering of their creativity, and in the fostering of their dreams. A very fun fact that is related to Cold Winter's Night very specifically is that when I was in elementary school and middle school for 2 seasons, I danced with the Sacramento Ballet's very famous professional production of The Nutcracker. And I really loved that experience because, first of all, for very few boys at that age are actually allowed to just even do, and it's not ballet for the boys, it's more ballroom dancing. But my parents were so, happy to let me express myself artistically and try new things, and they let me be a part of that. And it was always an experience that I personally loved. And so it was that experience that inspired Cold Winter's Night as a adaptation of the Nutcracker, with that idea in mind of celebrating children, their creativity, and their resilience. Cold Winter's Night is a one of a kind adaptation of the Nutcracker story. And what I love about it is that when the Nutcracker became popular in the US, it was during the Cold War when everybody thought that an atomic bomb was going to be dropped at any moment over their city. And so they went to the ballet, they went to see the story because it offered the escapism of a child's imaginative fantasy so that they could get away and get lost in a world of art and fantasy and magic. But Cold Winter's Night translates that story for a 21st century audience where there is nothing to hold back the angst and the terrors of what's outside our front doors. And so how do you deal with that? And especially in our current political climate and in the way that we are interacting with countries around the world, a lot of people feel that they truly aren't safe. And how do you use your fantasy and your imagination and all the things you hold dear to combat that and come out victorious at the end of the day? So, Cold Winter's Night is truly something that's original, and I hope that you come and see it at the GI Film Festival.